Yes. Begin the visual novel review.
Hey everyone, Drew Brown here. As you can see, I've managed to garner up the courage to finally leave my loft apartment and come outside to review something besides a visual novel. So I'm gonna formally change the name of my segment to Drew's Architecture Reviews. As you can see, I'm standing outside of this beautiful historical building and I figured I'd take the time to look at it, as I've graduated from visual novels. It's kind of weird that I'm all alone, but it's okay. What is this? Is this gas? Oh man, where am I? I thought I was reviewing historical buildings in broad daylight, which is kind of weird because in the last episode we established that the world is now in perpetual night due to the incident. Wait a minute, this is my loft apartment. I thought I'd sold this to a different young, handsome, and oh-so-dateable visual novel reviewer. What's going on here?
Hello, Drew. Do you know why I've brought you here today?
Based on how I'm in my loft apartment, there's gotta be some sort of visual novel you want me to review. You know, instead of kidnapping me, you could have just tweeted me on Twitter like I literally say, tweet me at CTV Goofing Up with the hashtag visual novel at the end of every video.
Quiet. Yes. I brought you here because there's one visual novel you forgot. One essential visual novel that you didn't directly talk about, despite hinting at it in like every episode.
Wait, you can't mean...
Yes. If you want to leave your loft apartment, you have to review the Zero Escape series.
Well, everyone, you heard the scary voice. Let's review the Zero Escape franchise. When people think of the Killing Game visual novel, people usually think of Danganronpa. But there are a select few, the chosen, who think of Zero Escape. The franchise kind of has the same premise as Danganronpa, despite coming out a year earlier. 9 people are kidnapped and forced to play a killing game. That's basically the whole premise without spoiling anything. So let's move on to the games themselves. Starting with the first title all the way back in 2009, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors, or 999 for short. You play as Junpei, who wakes up inside of what seems to be a cabin on a ship. That's all well and good. However, the port window bursts open and water starts flowing into the cabin. It's here that the game immediately throws you into the escape part of Zero Escape, which is pretty much the only source of gameplay, which to be fair is honestly better than most visual novels. Basically, you're usually trapped in a room and there's an elaborate puzzle setup that you must solve to escape. There are exceptions, but I found that most of the escape segments are really fun. They're so simple, but they're so engaging and satisfying to solve that I think they're a solid part of the game. Another thing I really enjoyed about 999 is its focus on real-world theories and some real-world science fiction novels and how it blends them flawlessly. It talks about things like Ice 9 from the classic novel Cat's Cradle, to things like the Titanic conspiracy theories, and even concepts like Robert Sheldrake's morphogenetic field theory. If you want to know what that is, play the game or Google it. It's things like this that give Zero Escape, and especially 999, a narrative feel and general aesthetic like nothing I've ever seen. This game sent me on many Google search rabbit holes looking at weird conspiracy theories and scientific concepts I've never seen before. 999 is a great cast of characters as well. Junpei, June, and Clover are the ones that stick out in my mind for this one. All the characters feel like real people, and once you near the end of the story, you can really look back at the development that they've gotten. Unlike the other Killing Game franchise, every character gets their time in the story, and none of them feel as though they've been left out. That is one of Zero Escape's greatest strengths that make it stand out. 999 was released on ye olde Nintendo DS, iOS, Vita, PS4, and Windows. It's a great game and I recommend it highly. Well, that's all for the Zero Escape franchise. If you want me to do anything, tweet me at
No, I said the whole franchise.
Alright, here's Virtue's last reward. Virtue's Last Reward, or VLR for short, is the second game in the Zero Escape series. The same premise for the first game exists, except this round you have a little rabbit character named 03, and a brand new psychological concept to base the Killing Game on. In VLR, after a certain amount of time, the 9 new characters are all required to play a game based on the prisoner's dilemma. Basically, they have to choose to betray or to ally their fellow people. If they don't get the optimal results, their bracelet they wake up wearing can reach 0 and they'll, well, die. If they can get enough points to reach the number 9 on their wrists, they are allowed to leave the bunker they're stuck in. However, they have to leave the others behind. The puzzles in this game are still strong as ever, and now they're in full 3D. Even the characters are in 3D, and they're strong as ever as well. Phi, Luna, and Kay are some of my favorite characters in the Zero Escape series. VLR also has so many great moments that hit you harder than in 999, and it's for this reason that many people say VLR is the best of the series. However, as much as I love VLR, the setting isn't as interesting as the one in 999, and I do think the overall story of 999 was more interesting. But that doesn't mean that VLR isn't interesting, it's still very gripping. This one is on everything 999 was on, but it jumps from the DS to the 3DS, as it was released in 2012. Moving on to the final game in the Zero Escape trilogy, Zero Time Dilemma. This game is kind of interesting because while the story is all really cool and I like the characters and everything, they try to make things a little more cinematic. It just doesn't work very well. A lot of the animations and voice acting really bog this game down and prevent it from being truly great. I don't think it's a bad game necessarily, it's just like everything else is still top-notch Zero Escape material. It's just this.
Do you hear something? Over there. Gab!
Where did you come from?
Regardless of all that, I still had a lot of fun with Zero Time Dilemma, and despite its flaws, it's a very good game. And it puts a good ending on the Zero Escape franchise. I think that the Zero Escape series is my favorite visual novel series, period. It has such a unique story and all the characters are top-notch. Every game makes the rules of the killing game a little different, but keeps the core concept the same. Something that I think that the game everyone compares it to, Danganronpa, kinda lacks. Zero Escape is a great game to play once you've had a couple visual novels under your belt, and if you've played any of the games I've talked about this semester, you're ready to play Zero Escape. You can get all these games on the PS4, PC, and PS Vita. The first two in the series are actually bundled in the Nonary Games bundle, which are enhanced ports, and they're both all on one disc. All you have to do is find a copy of Zero Time Dilemma. Alright, I reviewed the Zero Escape series, which I greatly enjoy and think everyone should play. Can I go home now?
Drew, the door was unlocked the entire time. I truly brought you here to show you your real home, this beautiful loft apartment overlooking the city.
Wait, maybe you're right, suspicious kidnapper, that isn't at all a reference to the material I'm covering. Reviewing visual novels might be my calling. This loft apartment might be my home. He's gone. This was truly an eye-opening experience. If you have any visual novels for me to review, tweet me at ZTVGoofingOff with the hashtag VisualNovelin. Until next time, I'm Drew Brown, and this has been Drew's Visual Novelin.